Hey, folks, just broadcasting from down here in this deep in the central part of Florida. And, you know, I'm just continuing to see the unrelenting campaign of Western disinformation. And that's why I titled this Lies and Liars on every single mainstream media channel: CNN, CNBC, MSNBC, Fox News, and of course CBS and NBC and ABC. I'm sure they're all doing the same. I don't need to go and verify it. Hey, 12 Bravo. But it's just, you know, the latest incident was a rocket or a missile or whatever shot into Ukraine, and it hit a train station. And of course, the mainstream media is saying this is a Russian attack. But of course, the information that I have is that it was indeed a Ukrainian missile, had a serial number on it, and it was not a Russian rocket. But of course, and then just prior to that was the Bukha incident, where supposedly the Russians were shooting people, shooting civilians. Yeah, it sure is 12 Bravo, man. It's fucking amazing. But, you know, the United States has been caught in many lies over the decades. God. But now it's becoming more obvious to people who can actually use their brain to figure out that, it's not always the other side that is committing war crimes. What can I say? Yeah, it's getting more and more. Oh, yeah. Oh, and here's they show a couple of clips of little teddy bears laying out in the rubble, and it's got some blood on it. You don't see any body anywhere to be found, but a little bloody teddy bear. 2 different times they showed that shit. And of course they say, the Russians are going in there and shooting civilians in the head. It's just, God, I can't believe what I'm seeing. When it's just not verified. But yeah, little bloody teddy bears. It's just a cute little thing that the media likes to show to pull at your heartstrings. God, pull at your heartstrings so you'll back Ukraine. And the bloody Russians, they it's like they're saying that this general they're getting ready to bring in uh, to into this new operation and into the Donbass region. He was the butcher of Syria, and now the devastate the it's going to get even worse for the civilians. God, like we could really prove anything that happened in Syria. That was a mainstream media propaganda piece of shit too. Yeah, I see bloody teddy bears too. 12 Bravo. Yeah, it's just unbelievable what they're doing. And it's like I said, it's on every single mainstream media channel. It's just so reminiscent of, the Butcher of Baghdad and the uh, the war criminal and that guy over in Libya. Yeah, that's it. Muammar Gaddafi. Yeah, they brought him out of a field. He was hiding in a drainage pipe or whatever. But I believe 100% it was him. But they dragged him out of that drainage pipe and they sodomized him, and then they killed him. So, God. They're on the same page all the fucking time, you know. And it's just like right before the first Gulf War, but especially the second Gulf War. I think it was Shock and Awe, you know. That was the title from CNN. Shock and Awe, you know. And I guarantee you a lot of civilians were killed during shock and awe because they bombed the fuck out of Baghdad and some other areas. So, yeah, I mean, you know, but the Russians weren't allowed to go in and do shock and awe. What they were allowed to do is go tiptoeing in around Ukraine, and that's the only mistake they made, in my humble opinion. And according to the humble opinion of Gonzalo Lira on YouTube, he said the Russians kind of, you know, they didn't really push full force. You know, they went up around Ukraine. They went around to the Donbass region in the east and on over to Mariupol, and so that they could have the land bridge from Crimea over through the south of the Black Sea or whatever it is, you know. Yeah, I'm telling you, 12 Bravo, that fucking Iraq war really pissed me off. I've seen the results of some of it. You know, I've been to the, you know, I remember one scene in particular, still in my mind. I went to Nellis Air Force Base, and that's where, you know, even if you were a veteran, you got seen there until they built the VA hospital in Las Vegas, or on the outskirts of Las Vegas. But I saw this poor kid, couldn't have been more than like 30, 35. Both of his legs blown off from the knee down. He's wheelchair bound, sweating up a storm, and just looked like he was just reliving everything just right there. You know, it kind of really left a mentally disturbing image in my mind. Poor kid. And I could call him a kid at the time. I was, you know, pushing 60 or 55, 60 at the time, whatever it was. Is quite a ways back. But, yeah. So I can kind of understand, you know, veterans against war, you know, VAWS or something like that. But anyway, you know, most veterans have learned their lesson. You know, war sucks. And I was just lucky because I was kind of, you know, I didn't get in the middle of any wars. I came in at the end of Vietnam in 75. Stayed in and all the way until 83. Got out of the Air Force, went for just under 5 years. Let's see, yeah, it was 87 when I went into the Army. And I heard some stories, man, especially from the Vietnam vets. And like, shit, man, the platoon, the first shirt where I was stationed over there in Germany, and the latter part of the 80s, you know, got out in 90. And man, the first shirt was fucking hardcore, but I'm sure he hopefully learned enough things before he's probably gone by now, but I really don't know. He wasn't that much older than me because, you know, I came in right as the Vietnam War was winding down. Hopefully he learned some lessons. And Whether or not he's still around, I don't know. But man, he was airborne and pretty hardcore. But anyway, that's kind of all beside the point. I'm I know I've repeated myself a lot of times, but I'm really disgusted by what's the shit that's coming out of the media. This makes me fucking sick. Yeah, I really don't know what else to say, but you know the the entire mainstream media of the United States is not looking at any views from the other side. You know, the alternative views that doesn't interest them. No, no, no. What interests them is to get that almighty paycheck, you know, and do what the the government, you know, the what's that word? Yeah, you got to take your marching orders from the glowies, or also known as spooks, from the CIA. That's what you're going to pass through the media. Goddamn spooks. Yeah, I've been watching some over there too, 12 Bravo, but it's really fucked up. They took them off YouTube. I think they deplatformed them from Twitter and I think even Facebook, you know. So it's like they have no voice whatsoever over here in this country. You can go online and find RT.com, but otherwise it'd be deplatformed from all the major platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. I think you can still find it. As a matter of fact, I know they're still on Rumble. But I just went to RT.com a little while ago, and it's the only way you can get the other side of the story, you know. And sure, they're gonna push some of their own agenda too, but really, I believe that, man, this is getting more scary by the day, you know, because they keep pushing the West keeps pushing this crap, you know, and I'm telling you, we don't have any room to wiggle really, because I think the dollar's definitely going to take a nosedive eventually. It can't do anything else but take a nosedive because inflation is roaring, and we are somewhat dependent on Russian oil. Not much, but it's a few percentage points. But Europe, NATO, all those people in almost all of them really are dependent on Russian oil. And the European Union is just, man, they are really fucking up. Because, you know, the Russian people, you know, if you know history, they went through really, really, really dark periods in the past when they were ruled by authoritarians, you might say. Let's just say authoritarians. But when the fucking Nazis came knocking on their back door, they fucking kicked their ass. You know, it was partly Hitler's fault and his generals for trying to take on Russia and go there in the fucking wintertime. Boy, what a mistake that was. Or at least they ended up in wintertime. You know, frozen stiffs all over the fucking place. Oh, and one other thing, Gonzalo Lira on YouTube, he's still there. Hopefully he won't be deplatformed, but he's totally exposed that so-called U.S. veteran whose name is Vasquez, and exposed that motherfucker. Because here this guy comes strutting up. Look, I just took out 4 tanks and Uh, and I did it all with a Leatherman or whatever. It's fucking ridiculous, man. I couldn't fucking believe it. And this guy's uniform wasn't even fucking, didn't have one fucking flaw in it. It just looked like he got it off the fucking rack at, the Army PX. He just walked in there and pulled that fucking thing off the rack, put it on, and his uniform, his Kevlar, all that shit. It looked like he just walked out of a fucking showroom. He hadn't been fucking fighting. It's fucking ridiculous, man. Yeah, brand new fucking rifles and everything. He looked like he was getting ready to go on guard duty rather than just fucking go over and fight Ukraine. Because I remember when I pulled guard duty in the Army over in Germany, we had to have everything fucking perfect. That's what he looked like to me. Everything had to be in its place, no shiny spots on the brass or anything, That's what it looked like to me. God. This is fucking ridiculous, man. I'm like, what the fuck? One of these days, 12 Bravo, I'm going to try to install StreamYard on my computer. I've just been really lazy, kind of busy, and just fucking burn out, because the old lady is still, you might say, alive and kicking, and but she's, bed bound most of the time, and her brain is just, it's just poof, pretty much gone, So definitely gonna try to get that done. Yeah, so I guess that's basically all I wanted to talk about. The propaganda coming from the mainstream media. I can figure this shit out, and if I can figure it out, everybody can figure it out. So you take it easy, 12 Bravo. I'm going to try to get StreamYard up here one of these days, and we can have a real conversation. Talk to you later. Peace, bro.